I wanted to have a quick chat about using soft shackles in the field. Now, soft shackles are, in my intention, are to replace this. So this is just a standard non-locking, cheap carabiner. It's not meant for climbing, just the kind of thing to hold your keys on. But there are a million uses for one of these in the field. Uh, Obviously, we can use them hang up a ridge line, hanging gear off your pack, hook it into your straps. It just has 1,001 uses. Uh, but I want to replace something like this that has been bought with something that's easily available, cheap, and something we all have in our pockets. So this idea of using paracord to make a soft shackle, this can be scaled up to something as large as you would be able to pull out a truck with. But in my case, in my use, I'm only using them just to replace just a cheap kind of a keychain carabiner idea. So full disclosure, nothing I'm about to talk about here is in any way designed for any type of life-saving or any type of heavy lifting, or I'm only talking about just replacing something like a cheap carabiner. So all I've done here in the most simplest of applications is I've taken a length of paracord, folded it in half, and put a double stopper knot on one end. And then I've burned it and flushed it in so that it's nice and smooth. In the simplest of applications for a, um, a soft shackle, you would simply take this and pass it through here, and then that becomes your soft shackle. Now, all you would have to do then is, if that pops through there, it's taken apart. But in the simplest of applications, that is as simple as it comes. That's the concept, is that stopper knot is not going to pass through this. Now, obviously, with the right force, it would. So there's a couple of ways we can stop that. One way is to take a lark's head and this end. So let me do that again. I'm just going to take my bite, fold it over so I got a set of ears, fold those ears this way, and then pass my stopper knot up through here. So now I have a lark's head on the stopper knot. And really, that's not going to come out. The tighter I pull on this, the tighter the lark's head is getting and biting down on that knot, and that is not likely to come through there. I wouldn't put my life onto it, but that's not going to come out of there. So let's do that again. This is the downside of this, is if somebody comes across this that doesn't know how this was tied and they see this, they're not likely to understand how to get it apart. So that's the downside. Even now, I know what I did, and it's still a little bit cumbersome to open that up again and pull it out. But there it is. So let's do that again. Fold it in half, fold it in half. That's a lark's head. Now I'm going to pass that up through both bites and pull down. Now, ideally, when you're loading this, if you're going to put any kind of weight onto it, then it would be loaded this way. I wouldn't want to put pressure on the knot this way. Just like a standard carabiner is designed to be loaded this way. You wouldn't load it on the gate. You'd put your pressure this way. Same thing if I'm going to load this, I'm going to put the weight this way, not on the knot. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it would be to pass this end through here. Take this and go over the top. Now again, the tighter I pull on this, the tighter it's going to close down that knot, and that cannot come through there. And again, just pull that back, pop it over the top, and let it out. So I'm just going to take this end, go through there, and over the top. That's the other way to do it. After that, then it can get a little more complicated if you want it to. So here's one that I've made. It's a little bit longer, but this one I've put just a cord lock onto it. Pass this through here, over the top. And now if I bring that cord lock up to the top, now I've closed off any hole that was there, and it really cannot come out. So let's do that again. I'm just going to take my line, go through here, over the top, close it down, and then if you want the extra security, bring up that cord lock. Now another way to do the same thing if you really want to get fancy with it, I've done the same thing, only here I used a bit of bank line and I put a cobra weave on it. So this one is a little bit too tight. I should have made it a little bit looser. But you can back that off a little bit and then let that slide, and that acts as your lock. We all have bank line lying around, so it's just a cobra weave I made just a little bit too tight, but let that slide back and forth. And again, same idea then, that once it's tight, that's not going to come out. Here's another one that I've done. In this case, I did a whipping. So this is the other style of knot that I've got here. And I just whipped it with some inner strands of paracord. So here it is with just a whipping on one end. So now if I go back to just the simplest idea of passing that over through there and then pulling my whipping up, now that again is pretty secure all by itself without all the other fancy hitches and lark's heads. And again, don't tighten this up so tight that you can't let it slide. And here's another one that I've made. This one I made out of a bit of aircraft cable. And again, so this would hold a tremendous amount of weight, but I would never again recommend that you ever use this in any kind of life saving. I would never trust my life to it. So now that just slides over, hooks onto the washer, and then let that slide up there. And now that can't come off. And that'll hold a tremendous amount of weight. But again, I would not trust my life to it. So just slide that back and hook onto it. Now, soft shackles have been around for a long time. This is not my idea. They're commercially available. But I got the idea of doing some of these things from Blackie Thomas's channel. Go do a search for YouTube for Blackie Thomas. Phenomenal bushman, phenomenal woodsman. Got a YouTube channel with some excellent kind of knowledge like this about soft shackles and canteen, cooking, all kinds of things. Go check out Blackie Thomas on YouTube.
Well, unfortunately, that's it for me for today. We've only got about maybe 2 hours of sunlight left, and I still got a bit of a trek out. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, and as always, leave comments below if you want to see something else. Leave a comment, and please like, subscribe, and hit that button. Thanks, guys.